Selling print on demand on Etsy is a great way to build passive income with steady sales. Let's see what this Etsy seller is doing to get ahead.
But first, I'm Jess at Insights by Jess. I dig deep into what makes Etsy stores successful and where they can improve so that you get the full 411 on what's really selling and why. Let's jump in.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining me for another video. It is time to showcase another print-on-demand rock star. So I know a lot of you guys were looking for card manufacturers and it got me thinking. So when researching for new videos, I stumbled upon this amazing card store and I wanted to show you guys the awesomeness of card making with print on demand. So before we dig into this particular store, I do want to mention that I did update my print on demand manufacturer freebie. It now has 5 websites that specialize specifically in card sets. So not individual cards, but like flashcards, card games, stuff like that, affirmation cards, all those good types of card sets. There's 5 brand new websites on that list specifically for you. And of course, for individual cards, there are sites like Printify, Printful, Gelato, and a lot of the other makers already on my list offer individual cards like the one we're about to see in this shop. But the most cost-effective way to do this, if you have the time and the money to invest in a good printer, is to print and ship these yourself with a great photo printer and some nice cardstock. This would give you higher profit margins, but of course is a lot more time consuming. So there are pros and cons to doing it either way, depending on the kind of business you want to build. And if you're looking for something more passive, you can do print on demand. If you're looking for a business that is more hands-on, you could always do this yourself. So let's take a look at their store really quickly here. This store is called Twist Stationery and they are super cool. They are based in the UK, which is awesome. And they have cards and sometimes card sets, but we're going to focus on mostly cards. You can see they just put up a lot of Mother's Day stuff. They have a lot of really cool holidays. We're going to go here to most recent to see what is selling the most, and you can see some of their most popular stuff is very, very, very popular. Over 20 people have this in their cart, is in a lot of these listings. Some of them have less, like 7 people, 3 people, 8 people, but this is a very, very, very popular store. So let's talk about their Etsy store stats really briefly here. So you can see how much this is really actually just killing it. They have 463,800 sales. They have 1,000 more sales than they had, I want to say yesterday. I made the outline for this video yesterday, and they have 1,000 more sales, which is insanely impressive. That's a massive number of orders. We are talking a full-scale business at this point. So multiple, as you can see, they have 4 of them, it looks like, working on this store. That is fantastic. Anyhow, their average price point is about $5, and they have 4,500 different listings, which is crazy. But if you look at the age of their store, I'm going to go to their oldest feedback here, which is a lot. They have 7,500 pages of feedback. Their oldest feedback is October 8th of 2017. So this is an established store. They are looking at 5 years of business at this point, and it has grown tremendously well. If you take their number of sales at a $5 price point divided by all the years that they have been open, this store is making approximately $440,000 to $445,000 a year. So they are really close, if not over, considering my estimates are very, very, very conservative because they don't account for any growth, right? So this store is probably over the $500,000 mark in annual revenue. So that is really great. This is super, super encouraging. So let's take a look at some of their best sellers here. because they do have some really cute designs. This is one of their popular ones, and this is actually a 30 and Fabulous card, and I love this one. I love that my name is on this, and honestly, lately when I'm researching for new stores, I am seeing my name pop up a lot, and it's hilarious, but it's also a little disappointing because I have the most generic 80s name, right? I think everybody born probably between 75 and 85, like 3 out of 4 of us, maybe escaped the fate of being named Jessica or Jennifer. But there's 1 in 4 of us that is Jessica or Jennifer. Comment below if you agree with that, because I really want to know how many of you have Jessica or Jennifer in your family. I don't know. It's just crazy to me to see my name popping up over and over and over. It is such a generic name. It gives me a good laugh. Anyways, I like my name. But let's look at the actual stats here. Their title is well put together for the most part. Looking at the length here, it is 139 characters, which is fantastic. The thing that really surprised me was that they do have some interesting things. They use 30 and 30th multiple times. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different times of repeating the 30. So really 30 and 30th are variations of the same thing. Having that in here 2 or 3 times would have been sufficient, especially because this says that they can make the card for any age. So they're putting a lot of emphasis on it being for a 30-year-old. And you can see that repetition is a strong part of their strategy with their SEO, because they have Fabulous in here a few times as well. And the design is 30 and Fabulous, so it makes sense that they would have 30 and Fabulous, 30th Fabulous at 30, and then just Fabulous birthday cards. So repetition is a strong strategy that they're rolling with here. They do have 3 images, and this one I thought was really smart. They have used an image to show you not only the inside of the card, but it says, "Dear customer, we can print a personalized message on the inside of your card for a small additional fee. It will be printed just like this message in a handwritten script typeface. Love from Twist Stationery," which is super cool. I like that. That's a clever use of an image. And then their third image shows you that it's printed on lightly textured cardstock supplied by these companies, and that is it. That is all they are using for images. So if you look at the drop down, you can see that they have blank inside if you want to write in the card yourself, or they will add the printed message for you for a little less than $2 extra. So that's really reasonable, and you can type in your message right here. So let's look down at their description. Right off the bat, they say this fully customizable card is printed on luxury 350 GSM lightly textured cardstock with a premium white envelope. So this is a nice intro. It's not a fantastic intro. I would personally add a little bit more emotional words here, like make something about it being a beautiful card for giving as a gift or whatever for your friend's 30th birthday or whatever. Put something in there about it being 30, about it being fabulous, about it being a gift for a birthday. So those 4 words I would definitely have worked into this sentence, but aside from that, they did a good job using words like luxury, lightly textured cardstock with a premium white envelope. So that was good. And then they jump into the technical specs of the card, the personalization, turnaround and delivery, etc. And I also noticed something that is really cool about their description is it says that they are committed to reducing their impact on the environment. So their cards do not come wrapped in any sort of plastic and no longer come with a wax seal. So I think that is super cool because not only is it cheaper for the seller, they're not worrying about wrapping it, they're not worrying about sealing it with wax, so it's cheaper and easier, but it's better for the world, it's better for the environment. So I really do love that. I think that's smart, and I love that they put that message in there as well. Let's take a peek at their tags. Their tags are a little bit of a mess because some of these tags are super vague. And I think that these are probably original tags or maybe have not been updated in quite a while, because when Etsy was smaller, even just a few years ago, we didn't need to be as specific with our tags as we need to be now because there was not as much competition on Etsy. Etsy is a rapidly growing platform, and we have to put more effort into our tags if we want to compete with all of the people that are entering this space. So tags like 30 and 30th are essentially wasted tags because not only do they have these super short tags, but they have it twice. So they could have put 30th birthday card instead, 30 birthday card, or turning 30, or gift for 30. There's different ways to expand upon these tags depending on what types of searches they want to pop up in. And the video that I published right before this, I do walk through eRank and talk a little bit about how to find search volumes of different tags. And I also talk about looking at your Etsy stats and seeing which tags are paying off for you and which ones are not. So here, so you can watch that because there's a lot of value in that video so that you can really dig through your own keyword strategy and how you want your tags and title to unfold so that they can work harder for you. Okay, let's look at the second listing here. Now this one is also in 20 plus cards. This one is a bestseller, and it is a My Bestie is Pregnant card, which is super cute. And as you can see, it is a very similar design here as the 30 and Fabulous card. So very same, very similar fonts, similar style, simple wording with a little red heart. Very straightforward and streamlined. So what that tells you, if you look back at their storefront here, is that they are able to make a lot of these designs very quickly because they're not worrying about different fonts. They're not testing out different designs. You have a few with different designs like this, but notice this one's not sitting in 20 people's carts. They have found a design style that is working really well for them, that people are liking, and it's really resonating with them, and they're sticking to it. So they're able to just pump out all of these designs with very little energy, very little time involved. So I did want to point that out. I think that's really important, especially if you're wanting to do something like this as a print on demand manufacturer where you can utilize your time to just create new designs. And I do have a fun new font pairing freebie. I think I've mentioned this freebie in multiple videos now, but it is really great for saving time on designs like these if you're making print on demand or digital designs. Check that out. It's free. The link is in the description below. Anyways, much of this listing is very similar to the last one. There's also 3 images with this clever printed message image and their cardstock example image. Their title is structured very much the same, and you can see that they're focusing here on pregnant and pregnancy, keeping with the theme of repeating their important keywords there. But this one does have more variety than the last title because it says My Bestie is Pregnant, amazing news on your pregnancy card for mommy to be, and parents to be pregnancy card. So that's great. Their description is very much the same. They do have the same message here in their description. It's exactly the same. So even just adding one sentence right before this on each listing that does pull in some of these keywords can be really beneficial. Looking down at their tags, these tags are much better than the last one. Every single tag here is intentional. There's nothing wasted in these tags. So these tags are very well done. There's great variety here as well. You can see they've got pregnant, pregnancy, pregnant friend, mommy to be, daddy to be, parents to be, bestie, new baby, new pregnancy, mummy with, oh, they have mummy with a U. Okay. and congratulations card. They have Mummy with you because they're based in the UK. And if they wanted to swap out Mummy to be or Mummy to be card, they could actually put an O in place of one of these, and that might help broaden them to customers outside of the UK. But that's really up to them, and that's up to whether or not they even want to deal with shipping outside to the US. And they do ship. Let's see here. Do they ship to the US? They do not ship to the US, so they don't even need to put that in. But if you were looking at doing this as a print-on-demand store and you were shipping worldwide, that would be something worth considering, as you can capture Mummy with a U and Mommy with an O to get both versions of the English language covered there, which would be helpful to expand your audience base. So if you wanted to enter this niche, I think there's definitely some potential here. This store is killing it on sales and their designs are not overly complicated. I think you could definitely create something with your own unique addition to this niche, your own design style, something that could resonate perhaps with different buyers and really add to this niche. And for a really cool design idea that is still pretty new to Etsy, you should definitely check out this video and prepare to be impressed, because this store's designs are all done in Canva. You can watch that here.